YouTube. Hello again. Welcome to video 2 of the Retirement into Grey Nomad series. I received a couple of questions on Instagram actually, not Facebook or YouTube, but Instagram. Along the same lines, one was how did you build up a nest egg, and the other one was what strategy did you use to get to where you are. And I guess a bit of history about myself. After you go through separation, divorce, solicitors, child support, property settlement, you're in a bit of a dark place, and there weren't many shining lights for me to focus on. The only one thing that stood out was superannuation. It's the Australian retirement plan, I guess, or retirement fund. Everybody has superannuation, and there are super funds and there are super funds. It takes 10 minutes to find out a good performing super fund through various websites. I was in a pretty crappy one, so I thought I'd get serious about super, and I looked at what the top funds were and why they were the top funds, because a good fund is not just returns, it's also fees. Accessibility, can you call them up and find out how your investments are going and how much tax you paid and so forth. And of course, if it has an app, you can install that on your phone and check your contributions and everything and keep up to date. So the first thing I did was look for a good super fund. I found one, and there's probably half a dozen good super funds. There are a lot of average ones as well. I was in an average one. Joined the new super fund, got my membership number, and I contacted a payroll officer at work, and I rolled my existing or then fund into my new super fund. So I was up and running in a better performing fund, and I could track its growth, its movements. Also, while I was there, I did an old super or lost super website checkup, and I found two, one for the building industry and one for the hospitality industry. Neither of them had a lot, but it was my money and it was just going to sit there getting eaten up by fees. So I rolled those two over into my new fund as well. Once that was up and running, I contacted payroll again, and I wanted to salary sacrifice. So it's just a basic form. Who are you? Who is your fund? How much do you want to salary sacrifice, and what frequency, weekly, fortnightly, monthly? I nominated an amount, and I've since increased that amount maybe 4 times since I've been with my new fund. So that was another contribution that was going through. So what my payroll, I was getting paid weekly, so my payroll would deduct the amount weekly, and then once a month, once they made their contributions, my salary sacrifice contribution went through as well. Also, I looked at BPay. BPay is for after-tax contributions, and basically I would get paid, pay rent, pay the utilities, pay whatever I had to pay, put some money aside for fuel, groceries, etc., and then whatever I could out of what was left over, I would be paid towards my super fund as well. So in effect, in the course of a month, you would have my employer contributions, which is 10-11%, whatever it is, my 4 weeks of deductions of salary sacrifice as a one lump sum per month, and then depending on how many financial weeks were in the month, 4 or 5, there would be 4 or 5 contributions made by me via BPay. So you do that over the course of 14 years thus far, and I've still got a year and a bit to go. You can't help but build up a bit of a nest egg. Some people might say, there are other better ways of investing your money, and I'm sure they are, but what I liked about super was that it was long term, it was fairly safe, I couldn't touch it, it was genuinely a retirement fund, and returns were going to be about as good as anything else, because let's face it, the financial world is up and down like a yo-yo, and at least that was continually ticking away there, week after week, month after month, and I could track its performance. I have a retirement date, which is 2025, just after financial year, so I sort out my working life, lodge my tax return, and then the beginning of the new financial year is pension life or account-based pension through my super. And I have 3 years probably at that stage before I'm eligible for the old age pension. So I'll back off the super as much as I can so that my income isn't too healthy. Not that it ever will be, but and then apply for the old age pension and try and get the most out of the old age pension. And then if I need to increase my super drawdown more than 4, 5, 6%, whatever, I will, but hopefully not, and that will ensure me that there's a bit of money there for a few years to come. So that's basically superannuation. That's how I am planning to fund my Grey Nomad in the initial stages. I tell my kids, get into a good super early in your working life. If you have a good week, be pay $50 towards it. If you have an average week, be pay $20 towards it. If you have a bad week, be pay $5 towards it. It's that incremental contribution and letting compound interest be your friend, which will see you over the course of a 30, 40 year working life arrive at a good nest egg for your own pension. Because as things are going, self-funding is more and more the case. And more governments are going towards that. They expect you to be self-funded, and yes, they will help you out with an old age pension, but it is seen as a supplement, so don't expect a lot of money from them. And hopefully, between the two, I should be fine. So that's the dollars and cents out of it. I'm also tidying up my bank account, so 3 accounts within the same bank. One will be my everyday key card account, which will never have too much money in it. Then there'll be a vehicle emergency fund, which I plan to chuck a bit of money into and leave it there for emergencies. As you know, with vehicles, things go wrong every now and again, so you want to be able to be prepared for that. And then have an interim bank account in between where I can shuffle money around between one and the other, and there's some money there to get a hold of if I need to. I'm also going to be saving a bit of cash, because I know a lot of people are talking about, cash is on the way out, we're going to be a cashless society. I think cash will see me out, and $100 today will be worth $100 next month and will be $100 next year. So having a bit of cash on hand will also help. And probably buy some store voucher, sort of gift card type things, like a Woolworths voucher, maybe $500, $1,000 groceries, maybe a fuel card as well, because I can buy that, and if I've got a few years to use it, it's there ready to go with some credit on it. Maybe an Aldi or a Coles one as well, because you're going to come across those stores. And try and be as financially prepared as possible. I don't have a crystal ball. I can only crunch the numbers and plan and get estimates and put some money aside to cover those, and we'll see how we go. But I look forward to keeping you posted. If you enjoy the information, by all means subscribe, give it a like, share a comment, ask me a question. I'm happy to answer. I'm no financial guru, but this is how I plan to do my thing when it comes to Grey Nomad. So I hope you enjoyed, and catch you on the next video.